to Jake Jackets. Gear up to fire the cannon and hit the ice with your host, Jay Ashdown and Jake Gehringer.
Oh boy, we got a lot to get to today, Jay. Whew.
Yeah, we do.
We got a lot of stuff to get to, and I want to mention. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Kepi Keeper. We're going to mention the Blackhawks finding stuff later because that press conference just wrapped as we're starting to record this.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna talk Blackhawks. So be warned. You know, we got as much tweets as we could gather from guys like Lazarus and Powers, Pagnota, Pope. Those guys were on it.
Yeah,
they were. It was great. And there's a lot of stuff to get to. So Kepi Keeper first, though, because we had hockey games.
Mm-hmm.
Kepi Keeper, I want to say, did you do it first Saturday?
You did it first.
I did. Okay. So before you do your official Kepi, I want to give an honorable Kepi to Elvis, and we'll talk about that why.
Yeah.
During game recap.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Kepi Keeper. Gregory Hoffman. First
Hoffman.
NHL goal was the game winner against Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
He had a goal and assist that night.
28-year-old rookie.
28-year-old rookie. He's fast.
He's very fast.
Yeah, I very much enjoy him.
And he just he just picked it off, and oh, what a shot.
Yep. So yeah, he's my guy.
I'm gonna do Hoffy too. I was literally thinking Hoffy like first thing this morning.
Yeah, steal my thunder again.
It's like, well, because like he's friends with Elvis, like really good friends with him.
Yeah.
And it's just to be 28 and finally get to play in the NHL, like, and score your first goal and all of that. Like, he's waited a long time for it. Sure, he played overseas in his home country, but like, come on. Every time there's a first like this, you can't help but love it.
Yeah. Didn't have to trade much again. We traded like a 7th round pick for him?
Something like that. I don't even remember acquiring him, to be honest with you.
I remember it was like a random trade that was like 7th round pick for Greg Hoffman, and I was reading like the
I don't even remember where we got him from.
He was like, yeah, he's drafted in 2011 in the 4th round by the Hurricanes. They always had him like in their organization.
Okay.
And like he was always playing overseas, but they didn't really have anything to do with him, so they just traded him to us for a 7th round pick, like his rights, and then he came over here.
He was like, I finally want to make the jump, and here he is. And
yeah, I mean, for a 7th round pick, man, it could be a good acquisition to get a speedy guy, another guy that can play in your bottom 6.
Another guy that could play in your top 6. That guy was looking really good with Jack and Oliver.
Yeah, he looked good. I don't know if I want to say he's going to be in the top 6 consistently, though. So.
I mean, with the line shuffling that Larson's doing, we'll see. But yeah, that was a very quick Kepi Keeper since same guy. Who knew?
Yeah, pretty easy, I think.
Pretty easy one, yeah.
Because like we're trying also not to do like repeats and stuff like that, because Ali also had a goal in
for
assist.
now.
Z had a goal in his, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I like to mix it up a little bit.
Eventually we'll get to repeats, but we got a whole like 75-ish games for that. You know?
A long season.
We're just getting into things. Jackets win 4-1 against Dallas. Big, like, oh my God. It was huge because they just responded from the Carolina game.
Yeah,
right off the
get
get-go.
Big thing. You want to see them respond. I mean, like the game against Carolina was almost one of those ones where it wasn't even that frustrating, because it's not like you're watching it like frustrated with the effort. You just watch that and you're just like, that's the gap.
That's just how
Carolina
it is
the best team in this division, and it's a very good division. And which couldn't get much going, and that's
They're young,
that's what
they're
happens
fast,
when you play a
they're
really good team like
gonna
Carolina. Like,
yeah, they're just going to outwork you. And then Dallas, do you think they're still coming off of their like finals hangover from the bubble?
I don't think so. I mean, I thought like last year, like they missed the playoffs last year, but like again, like they had a lot of injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think Dallas is a very interesting team because, like, they got Sagan, they got Pavelski,
The Sagan goal,
and
I mean, what can you do?
Gurianov. Like, there's a lot of talent
Dennis,
in
I love
Dallas.
Dennis Gurianov.
Yeah, and then they get Jason Robertson, Rope Hintz. Like, there's a lot of players to like in Dallas, but consistency.
Otter,
with the
Jake
team.
Ottinger.
But he hasn't really played that much because, like,
Well,
we
no,
talk about
because
like Ben Bishop and Anton Hoover and other guys. Well, they've had to rely on Braden Holtby a lot.
yeah, it's Holtby and Dobby right now. So
Yeah.
it's like,
So it's like it's tough with them. Like injuries have really, really hindered them since the Stanley Cup final run, in my opinion. I mean, hell, even during the Stanley Cup final run, they relied on Dobby, and Dobby was great in the playoffs, but still, I mean,
35 years old.
When things were starting to run out for Dobby, you would have loved to have had Ben Bishop available, and frankly, he just wasn't healthy. So like
Right.
they're in a tough spot with that.
Can you hear me okay still? Like, is everything cool?
Yeah, you sound great. I think Dallas is a good team. They're still pretty inconsistent, but once they're healthy, I think that's a playoff team.
Oh, we'll see. Like the Central is one of those divisions. I mean,
It's probably the second best division in hockey.
Yeah,
to be honest.
the Central, like the Metro, is going to be tight all year, except for maybe like two teams.
Right, because we know that like the Pacific is by far the worst division.
It's a mess in there
and the Atlantic
are like weird because like even Seattle, like we didn't know what they were gonna do, and they come out hot as a pistol, and they're still 7th.
Yeah, Seattle been hot. I thought they've been struggling.
They've been like up and down.
Yeah,
because they lost.
They're 1-4-1.
Yeah, they got time to turn it around, obviously, but it's like you know. Okay, so let's address this. Before the game started, when the players were coming out of the tunnel, there was a Stars fan. And this is all from our guy Aaron Portsline. Like, I mean,
and he gets this direct quote from Elvis.
Yeah, and we know Portsy is like your best friend. I'm trying to bring some sort of levity in it.
He follows me on Instagram.
Oh, does he?
He does.
Does he really? That's great. Okay, anyway, Stars fan, the team's coming out of the tunnel, and he starts taunting Elvis about the death of Matisse over the summer. And this is disgusting. There's no place for it in this sport at all.
In the world, really.
In the world. Like, okay, so let me just say that this morning we had an update on it where there was an actual, like, they caught the video from the Blue Jackets, like, Instagram story.
Yeah, and it was like some comment about like a firecracker.
It said, don't let off a firecracker or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, why? I have nothing else other than why. It's stupid. It's rude. You know what happened.
It's painfully unfunny too.
It's just gross.
I can't think of any context where that would be funny, but
no, it's disgusting. And I said that on our on our pod Twitter that it was just gross. But I was watching, all the pressers afterwards, and Elvis, like, he shrugged it off. He used it as motivation. He was shaking.
Then he was excellent again.
he like, basically what he said in the presser was like when he started to get his legs under him in the second, he used basically karma to fuel him.
Yeah, I would say it fueled him pretty well because he was unbelievable again.
Amazing. Beautiful. And it's so weird because like
something.
I was watching Lars too, and Brad didn't hear anything about it.
Right.
So it's like, huh.
He probably
And
kept that to himself.
maybe shared it with like a couple of the closer guys that he's with, something like that.
He probably like what it means. He probably didn't mention it until after the game.
Yeah, something like that. And there was another tweet from Fortsy that said that Nationwide Arena staff is going to try to identify and locate this guy.
Hell yeah.
So good. And I mean, I don't know what kind of punishment they can send to this dude. We don't know who he is, so we don't like, obviously we're not trying to give him a spotlight because we don't know who he is. He's just some dude that said a terrible thing. But at least they're trying to look into who he is and figure out something, like not let, at the very least, ban him from Nationwide.
Yeah, of course.
If not everywhere, because there's no place for a fan like that.
Right.
But the actual game, Elvis, like you said, looked great. The second line was buzzing out there with Greg on there. Greg getting a huge boost playing with Jack and Oliver. First line, same as it always is. The third line, that's not even really a third line. It's Gus and Sillinger and Chinnikov. It's like 2B, right?
That's a line that's got to get the legs moving, man.
Yeah.
Nyquist is fast. Cole Sillinger and Jaeger just shot out of a cannon every game.
Every game. I feel so bad for Cole and his no goal call because it was like right there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right there.
He's all over the place, man. Love to see it from him.
Him and friggin' Jaeger are just like locusts out there. Just flying around, causing havoc. Speaking of causing havoc, friggin' Sillinger almost dropping the gloves with Gurianov after
that would have been awesome. I mean,
some 34 on 34 crime.
I love it because I'm just like this guy's. You can just tell he shows up every game. Like,
oh yeah,
I want to do something big.
Right.
I want to have some impact. Like, what if it's scoring a goal, making some plays offensively,
good dish,
like, or mixing it up, getting physical.
Yeah.
Just letting the other team know that I'm here.
Yeah,
I love that for that kid.
He got asked about it. I want to say it was from Metz, from Dave Metzel. I love how we have all our nicknames for like our local media people.
Yeah.
He got asked from Metz, like, what was that like? Did you think you were going to do it? What do you think about, being more physical? And he was like, yeah, I love it.
I gotta ask you a question.
He was just straight up like, yeah, I love it. I hope Pabs is okay. But like, man.
This I know we're super early in this. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And there are some players I really liked in this draft.
And I mean, this is episode 21 of this podcast in general.
How did this guy fall to 12?
I don't know.
There were 10 guys picked ahead of him. And like, don't get me wrong, like Owen Power, obviously. Matty Beniers, obviously.
Yeah.
McTavish, Hughes, Johnson, Edmondson.
I feel bad for McTavish.
Eklund. Yeah, but I mean, God, like Tyler Boucher. The Senators, man, they could have had this kid. They could have had Cole Sillinger. They had him. It was right there.
And he fell to the hometown boys. Which, I mean,
fell to 12, basically fell to 11. Like, dang, that's crazy.
It's so good.
God, we lucked out with that. I mean, God, he was the second player we chose in the draft. And he's with the team right now.
I love it. Like, I love every bit of it.
Me too, man.
Because like you had in the 2020 draft when we drafted Jaeger, he was like way off of everybody's board, like nowhere even near consideration. And there's just something that Yarmo saw in this kid, and we're seeing it now. And then the same thing with Cole. Like, the hometown thing is always a nice story, right?
Yeah.
Like Sean Corrali got his first point. He ended up getting the actual Kepi for getting his first point.
Yeah. There's just some, I don't know, man. There's just something about like this kid.
Yeah.
Cole,
just
man.
he's so
He looks
good.
great.
And he looks amazing. And I can't wait because like the artillery guys, you know, we got to get Jordan on the show or somebody, Jordan or Kyle, one of the two. Because they're great dudes.
Get Jason on at some point.
We do need to get Jason and get some friendly fire. Yeah. Oh, that would be fun. The 2-on-2 interview.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Get some cross promotion between Jake Jackets and Cannon calling. Cool.
Oh yeah, big time.
The Carolina game, yeah, I don't know if we really need to recap that as much.
No, because it's one of those games like remember when Torts would say like the Blue Jackets would have a really bad game and he would just be like, oh, we're not even gonna watch the tape, we're gonna burn it.
Right.
With this because and
that one's burned the tape. Yeah.
They came back out against another good team, I think, in Dallas, and they won 4-1. And really, I mean, they were shutting them out for most of the game. The goal from Sagan didn't come until there was like 2:30 left when they had an empty net. Like,
I'm sorry, we're gonna get to this again here in a minute, but there's a new tweet on the Blackhawks stuff from NHL PR, like a new punishment. Okay. Wait. I think I accidentally bookmarked it on the podcast Twitter, which you should follow.
My God, I just saw it.
Did I bookmark it? Wait. Shoot. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna find this. Here we go. I think I clicked copy tweet instead of bookmark. That was my bad. Because copy tweet is like right in the middle.
Right.
So I always click that one instead, and I'm like, oh. Oh, yeah. So, okay, fun thing. Fun dip. The fun dip thing is great.
Okay. I actually do not know about it. So tell me about it.
So I didn't know about it until our guys at 614 posted a video about it on Facebook and Twitter and stuff. Because they just posted a big celebration after the win, and the caption was "Fun Dip," right?
Mm-hmm.
And Catherine Dobbs, who is the senior vice president and CMO of the Blue Jackets, who follows the show on Twitter, by the way. Shout out to Catherine. So a recent tweet. Lots of questions out there about the CBJ reference to fun dips. It's a pregame ritual. The fun dip happens to be mine. I don't know who me is exactly, but it's not really about the fun dip. It's about belief and the power of positive energy. The more, the better. People smile when you give them a fun dip, and I believe people want to be part of be a part. Oh my God.
Be a fart.
Be a part of something special. Things are tough out there, so why not have hockey fun, connect with your hockey family, and push that positive energy the team's way? We know they need us, feed off of us, and we are all on this journey together. Whether it's a fun dip or your own fun idea, thanks for joining in. That's all from Catherine. So that's just a great little pregame ritual. I love that.
Yeah, it is too. I'll say though, I love fun dip, but I hate how it just completely stings your teeth.
I'm not a big fun dip guy. I don't.
Makes sense. You're not a fun guy.
Wow. Okay. Says the guy that moved to Buffalo.
Buffalo. People know where Buffalo is. Where are you from?
I'm from a hick town.
It could literally be called Hicktown. I would believe you.
Honestly, yeah. To be brutally honest, yeah.
And hey, what's there not to like about Buffalo? I can look out my window right now and see that it's raining again.
See Jack Eichel walking down the street.
I don't think he's doing much walking lately. Probably just sitting down because he's in so much pain.
This poor fucker. Ugh,
Sabres.
poor guy.
I was at the game yesterday.
You were.
Go
And you
Sabres.
were
They won.
And you were high as hell having ice cream.
I will not confirm or deny this.
I will just confirm the ice cream part.
Yeah, you know, yeah, I was having ice cream. Ice cream's very good there. So good there.
Oh man. So this is something that friend of the show Dennis pointed out in a video of his.
Legend.
The legend DK2.
Anytime we get to talk about Dennis, I'm just like, oh, here we go.
I know. We love you, Dennis. Apparently there was a big like stink on Twitter over Elvis having a narrative and Corpy not. So apparently they made it into this like goalie war thing. Which
yes, because anytime you have two goalies who are supposed to split time, you're supposed to take a side.
There's no goalie war. Like Dennis said, there is none. And I tweeted this on behalf of both of us.
Yeah,
that
there's no goalie war. It's Elvis's job.
We love our guys. Like we love both of these guys.
I'm gonna make this podcast into a goalie war. I don't believe there should be one. I really don't. I like both of them, but I'm just gonna make it one. I'm gonna make it one right
just
now.
for the hell
Team
of it.
Elvis. I'm Team Elvis.
I guess that means I have to be Team Corpy.
Yeah. See, I got the better goalie.
No, Corpy's great. That's the thing too, is
Elvis
like
is greater.
if I can actually talk about like this.
No.
The
No,
team.
fuck you.
No, this is
No.
no. Okay. The team hasn't looked great in the 2 starts that Korpisalo has had so far. And they just so happen to be the 2 losses.
So what
they
you're
just
saying is they're 0-2 with Corpy and net and 4-0 with Elvis.
They just happen.
If you look at it in a vacuum, my point makes sense. But if you're not an idiot like you or me, like if we're smart, which we are, we can understand that in the Detroit game they did nothing to help Corpy, and he still stopped like 41 shots.
Exactly.
And in the Carolina game, they just got absolutely exposed in every aspect possible, and there's nothing. Like Corpy literally had to get a shutout in the Carolina game for them to win. They only scored 1 goal.
Yeah. Like it's I don't know what it is. And I mean, obviously like we're only
I will say, and here's the thing, like I think you're probably gonna say this. I think we've said this before. I don't necessarily know what it is. I do think Elvis has an edge over Corpy. I do think he's slightly better, but for some reason it doesn't the team just seemingly play better in front of Elvis? Like what is that about?
I think
they
that
always show up when he's in net.
I think it comes back to what Dennis said in his video, which is Elvis has a narrative surrounding him this year. Corpy doesn't. Which is weird because Korpisalo is the guy that carried us through that record-breaking, first round in like outside of the bubble. That record-breaking 5 overtime game.
Yeah, where he stopped 85 shots.
Yeah. So people forget that he's also a very good goalie. This tandem rocks.
I like him. I'll say this. I think this is where you're going to get upset with me. Because it always comes back to the analytics.
All right, the
analytics like Elvis. The analytics like Elvis a lot more than they like Jonas.
The geek's coming out. Okay.
Yeah. So look,
I'm just gonna tune out for a second.
I think in terms of like,
I'm just gonna have some fun dip.
I really, you're gonna have fun dip.
No.
But you didn't like it. You didn't like it. Go right now. I dare you. Get some fun dip.
I don't have any. That's the thing.
See, I knew you would do it.
I might get one of those huge ass brownies. Dude, I showed you. They're like this big around. They're like a deep dish pizza slice.
Yeah, like I was at a restaurant yesterday before the game, and my buddy Brian got like a big brownie for dessert.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I should have gotten that. Anyway, back to goalies instead of brownies.
And the fact that there is no goalie war.
There
Let's
is
be
a
frank.
goalie war, and Elvis is winning it in a landslide right now.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, I like. There's a lot to like with Jonas. Okay, eye test, stats, and analytics. It's very, very mixed.
They're both good looking
the eye
fellas, let's
test-
be honest.
I think the eye test will show you Jonas is very athletic.
Oh yeah,
He
he's
moves
great.
laterally really well. You know, like
Do you
he
think he's
flows
still
well
dealing
in
with
net.
do you
A
think he's
groin
still
injury?
like the leg thing from New Year's? Like is that
I
long
don't
gone?
know. I don't think so. I think that's been because I feel like his lateral movement's been fine.
Mhm.
I just as far as when it comes to his game though, like we've seen his stats be good, we've seen him be bad, we've seen his the eye test be good, we've seen it be bad, but the consistency is the analytics would indicate that when the Blue Jackets made the playoffs in 2019, when we weren't supposed to, after
Yes.
everybody left, the 2019-2020 season,
Mhm.
and he was in the bubble, he was aided by very, very good defense.
Yes.
Seth Jones was actually playing well. So was Zach Werenski.
For
They still had Nudavara. They
Yeah,
still
they
had
did.
Murray. They
Yeah.
had Gavrikov. They
Yep.
had
They had
defense
Savvy.
was- yeah, they had Savvy. Like the defense was probably the best it's ever been. I think,
Probably, yeah.
and as a result, I think people forget as good as Coach was in the playoffs. Elvis was awesome too. Like outside of that, like 3-minute lapse where they collapsed in Game 4 against Toronto,
Hmm.
where they could have closed out the series, and they ultimately did the next game. Anyway,
And the
but
next game, that led Steve to be fucking
pressed
Arthur
again
Fleck
for like the
again.
9th millionth time. Like Elvis was great in the playoffs too.
We love you, Steve.
Like I think that was an indicator that like I don't think that there was a gap at that point between the two goalies. I think there
Uh-huh.
is now. I think Elvis is better, and that's why and that's why they extended Elvis, and that's why I think they're going to deal Corby.
Hmm.
I think he's kind of a league average goalie, and there's nothing wrong with league average goalies. You can win with a
No.
league average goalie. I mean, the Blues won for a while with Brian Elliott in that.
Yeah. And
You know,
I mean, Benner's looking more and more league average
more league
by the
average,
day.
yeah. Absolutely. Like you can win with a league average goalie in that if you have a solid team in front of you. The problem is though, is the Blue Jackets are a team that needs an elite goalie to win hockey games, and that's what
Right.
they're getting from Elvis. They can get it some nights from Jonas. They got it from him against Detroit. They just didn't do enough in front of him again.
Right.
And that's where we're at.
So, I mean, in my eyes, I love them both. I don't see a goalie war personally. We obviously have the stats to back up that Elvis is statistically better, and
Mhm.
they both play very well. The team just needs to show up more in front of Jonas, honestly.
Yeah. I think it's just
Be all
there's
I
a
know.
reason that Elvis was extended to the money he was,
Yes.
and there's a reason through 6 games he has gotten more starts. Not, granted,
Right.
it's 4-2, but like it's a small sample size. But I think Elvis is their guy. And there's a reason he's their guy,
There's no doubt he's the guy.
and that's why there's no goalie war. It would be a goalie war if it's like, do you know what it was a goalie war? It was 2010 when it was Price and Halak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a goalie war.
That
Holy
was a
cow.
goalie war. Like there's been examples of goalie wars we've seen in the past. 2017. Fleury or Murray? Who do you go with? Who are you gonna
Fleury
keep?
or Murray, Lou
You
or
know?
Corey.
Yeah. Like we've seen it in the past. This is not a goalie war. This is Elvis's job.
Fleury Leonard. If I can bring the stab in the back.
God bless Alan Walsh, for real.
Did you know that he's got a new show?
I heard.
That was the
Doesn't
big
come with
announcement.
hilarious-
That was the new big announcement.
Yeah.
Their first episode's out now, and it's him. Like the show is Alan Walsh and Adam interviewing players. right?
That's pretty dope.
Essentially. And this first episode is David Perron.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
That's interesting.
I got to check that out.
He's had a very interesting career.
Yeah, he has. We mentioned Seth Jones, so let's transition into the stuff that broke.
Oh.
So much broke in this like half an hour before we started recording, and I'm honestly glad we waited.
Yeah.
Because oh my god.
And we'll have more of a breakdown on Saturday.
Yes, because we're gonna take time to digest it. We're gonna read everything. We're gonna watch the videos back, and we'll have more like actual notes and things to say on this. But the biggest news that came out of this is, essentially the people that got let go. And
like you're gonna say that anybody with the organization from
anybody
is officially gone. Anybody
is
gone.
This is the big one though. So the Ben Pope tweet says all other executives involved in the 2010 incident have left. The tweet before that from Rick Westhead, who's been all over this thing.
He's been on it from the start. He's the one who really uncovered it to begin with.
Yeah, and he's done such a perfect job with this.
Yeah.
Stan Bowman has resigned. I have my own feelings about Stan Bowman. Obviously, the Chicago Blackhawks are the secondary team that I cheer for. So this whole saga has been disgusting to me from the get-go. And, I've got a friend, Alyssa, on the SDPN server who's a Blackhawks fan first and foremost. She's my big pickle friend. She's the one that started the pickle thing with Emily. She's been saying we got to get rid of Bowman for ever.
For years. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's resigned. So he's gone. He just stepped away. He's done.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that I haven't seen an official, well, maybe I did. I just didn't read it. I haven't seen anything from Coach Q in writing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anything from Bergevin in writing because he was player development staff at the time over there.
Yeah.
Or video coordinator or something. Right? He was some sort
It
of
wasn't very high. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was, but haven't heard anything from Quenneville, or at least I haven't read anything yet. There's nothing from Bergevin yet.
So from Down Goes Brown, this was 42 minutes ago, Quenneville and Cheveldayoff had both denied knowing about the allegations at the time when they were first asked about this in July.
Yes.
So it's important to remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically when they were first asked, they didn't know a thing. But now that they say that, are they letting on more that,
Yeah.
I
want to read a couple of tweets from Jay Fresh, one of my favorite people. Okay.
He is your guy.
This is 44 minutes ago.
Yep.
He said, now the question becomes what happens to Quenneville and Cheveldayoff with their respective teams.
Right.
And someone responded with, what about Bergevin? He said, Bergevin might have been complicit in the process, but he wasn't in the meeting or inner circle. So I think it's unlikely that he faces any direct consequences for what happened. The interesting thing on top of that is this is the last year of his deal.
Yeah. So
that does throw an interesting element into it, and they have a bad start to the season too.
Bad start to the season. There's rumors that he wants to go to LA. Who they have their own issues from past players Mike Richards and Slava Voinov and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
it becomes interesting, because if you're Montreal here, bad start to the season. He's only got 1 year left on his deal. This comes out. could be an opportunity for them to at least buy a little bit of goodwill in terms of PR to fire him if he's going to leave anyway.
Yeah.
And I know it's a bad way of putting it, like, because at the end of the day, it is one of those situations where if you fire him, we're not stupid. We know that you're doing it just to look good because
Right.
it's so convenient.
It's
but that's
the
why
timing,
I think
right?
that he could be. That's why I think he could be. Timing is everything. If you are having success, let me tell you something. If the Florida Panthers fire Joel Quenneville for this, absolute respect for that organization because they're in the best stretch that they've ever had in franchise history.
Right. They're 6-0.
Damn
They're
good
like,
coach.
he's an amazing coach.
And if they fire him because of moral reasons, because of this, that takes some serious guts to do.
Yes. And especially
when
because
it would be super easy just to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, that comes from ownership. And technically, wouldn't the news be broken by our guy Zito?
Yeah.
Wouldn't Zito tell him that he's gone?
He would be, yes. So we don't know what's going to happen there, but just to continue reading tweets from Jay Fresh, if I had to guess, I think it's more likely that Cheveldayoff faces the consequences of this. As cynical as it sounds, I just can't see the Panthers being willing to risk their unprecedented success with Q, considering the team's financial priorities. Right. But we will see. That throws another really unfortunate element into it. Is the Panthers are in this position like, oh my God, like it's not even just the success of the team, the most success they've had in a 3-year stretch, really.
They're finally making money.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're able to make money when you're winning. And why are you winning? Because you got a damn good coach and a damn good team. It's so hard. But this
whole thing evolved like over the 20 minutes before we started this.
Yeah.
Like it was just pouring out.
The world was a very different place an hour and 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. It was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing. But yeah, okay. We're not going to talk about this anymore. We're going to have more in-depth discussion on this on Saturday. What we'll probably end up doing is like Jackets don't play until Friday, so we'll only have one game. We'll have the one game to recap against the Rangers. We'll go through that. We'll spend a lot more time on the Blackhawks, and then we'll try to breeze through any other like smaller games. That's what we'll do.
Yes.
Next up,
I have a picture for you.
Oh, you do?
Yes. From Maddie Go Sens, one of my favorite accounts on Twitter. Brady Ovechkin.
No! God, no. I saw that in the Discord and I was like, oh God. Okay. This is the actual next thing. You're just something else.
An amazing person, I know him.
God, no wonder Emily's first message to you was like, "You're an idiot."
I'm sorry that she just doesn't understand the dynamics of a waffle.
You and your waffle sandwich takes. Did you like that meme that I posted for Good Morning?
Which one?
For it being a podcast day, the content meme that Kris made of your face.
Oh, it's a beautiful picture of me.
I tagged you in it.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
That was from the last episode when I told you that the Habs are looking at Pierre McGuire as GM. And you were just incredulous. You were like, whoa. Oh, it was great.
Obviously, so real quick.
Yes, real quick before we get into this. Yes.
As we wrap up the Blackhawks thing.
Yes.
I think a fair punishment for them.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
for this, right. Because they also got fined $2 million.
Yes, that was the punishment that I was going to bring up that I bookmarked.
They should have been fired. They should have been fined a lot more than $2 million because $2 million is literally pocket change. Oh my God, $2 million. So that was like $8 to me.
Right. It's like a coffee.
It's ridiculous. Legitimately, if you want to punish the Chicago Blackhawks, they need to be forced to sign Peter Chiarelli to a 10-year contract to be their GM.
Oh my God! Didn't he already get a new contract with the Blues?
Yeah, but he's I don't know. He's like
some assistant.
He's like warming the coffees and cleaning the dishes,
which is exactly what he
he's
should
not really
be
doing anything.
It's exactly what he should be doing.
No, I want to see what he's going to do with their defense.
Oh God. Okay. Article from The Athletic. The NHL's attendance has been trending down to pre-COVID numbers as all these sellout streaks are ending. And this technically ties in with the Blackhawks because they, with their like streak without holding a lead, breaking the record, like their sellout streak also broke, I think.
Yeah, because people hate them. And they hate them because they're a bad team. But they really should hate them because they're a trash organization. Anyway, yeah. Part of the reason, like everybody's like been making fun of Buffalo. Like I went to the game yesterday, and I'm just like stunned looking at all the empty seats. But a big part of it, though, is depends on the COVID protocols for going into games.
Yes.
Like some people don't want to go to hockey games that they have to wear a mask the whole time. Some people don't want to have to go to. Some people don't want to go to a hockey game if they have to provide like proof of vaccination. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It has an impact on attendance, I think.
Penguins streak ended too.
Yeah, and not to mention for the Sabres, but a lot of people don't realize, a lot of their season ticket holders are in Canada, like right across the border, living in the Niagara area. And those people can't just consistently go across the border for a hockey game. It's at least a decent process. You know what I mean? Because you have to get a COVID test.
Well, okay. So this whole article, which I'm trying to find, this is Sean Shapiro. I just wanted to make sure I credited, sources.
Yeah.
The whole thing is based around pricing of tickets, which, we're trying to get everybody back in, but it's hard to do so when you're pricing tickets very high.
Yes, and they're pricing tickets very high because they're trying to make up the money that they lost due to COVID. So I understand both sides of that. It's tough.
And it's very, like, we were talking about ticket prices just in our little group chat. It was, in between me and Emily and Chris. And it was just like the Leafs for like nosebleeds. Like way back, nosebleeds barely can see anything, right?
Yeah.
Like low visibility nosebleeds. It was something like $600 something.
Really?
It was awful.
I believe it. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous with some of these.
Meanwhile, like what KeyBank Center is selling tickets for like pocket change.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like you're getting lower bowl seats for like $40, something like that.
I'm never gonna complain.
It's wild. And then the other thing is vaccine mandates, which, I mean, we try not to talk about the pandemic much on this show, but it's
I mean, everybody's been suffering with the
we're
pandemic.
we're all tired of it. We're all tired of talking about it. But the biggest thing is, vaccine mandates in the short term. Teams have been wrestling with how to deal with it. Like, I know here in Columbus, the mandate is a mask mandate. So, like, regardless of your vax status, you need to wear your mask.
Right.
They've implemented a lot of teams have implemented a vaccine mandate, seeing a pushback from season ticket holders, which is why other teams, according to team sources, didn't even try to push the issue out of fear of losing long-term customers. Teams that haven't implemented a mandate or other precautions, such as proof of a negative test, have also seen pushback, often less vocally, of fans who aren't yet comfortable attending an event without such precautions.
Right.
So
it's tough.
What do you take away from that? Yeah.
as someone who's been to both, I've been to a Jackets game where you have to wear a mask, and I've been to several Sabres games where you provide your vaccination record
Yes.
and you don't have to wear a mask. I definitely prefer the one where you don't have to wear the mask.
Well, yeah.
It's a lot more enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the problem is though is there's evidence to support that the ones that are showing that they have to wear a mask to go in have the better attendance.
Right. And yet people still aren't wearing the masks. Like there was a little bit.
Well, because like you have your mask on, like you can just like, oh, I'm taking it out to eat food, and then I just keep it off.
Yeah.
And if anybody's gonna come by to say something, I'm just gonna take a bite. You know what I mean?
We were like,
there's ways around it.
My dad and I were watching the Islanders game, and there was a screenshot. There was camera footage of people walking through the arena, and like over half the people in this crowd of traffic had their masks just kind of pulled down along their chin.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's.
I mean, I have my own things with that. Like, obviously, my workplaces have different things with the mask thing. Like, I pull it down when I'm alone, or like not really around people, like surrounded in the tank or whatever. But then when I'm like going out, like at Bob Evans, if I'm going out to bring out silverware or something, I'll pull it up, like, because that's where the customers are, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know, it's a pain in the ass. Like,
it is a pain in the ass.
It's like I don't care like what anybody's stance is. I'm sick and tired of wearing it.
I am too. You know I'm so tired of it.
It's so tired. Like it's just like, oh my god, like this has been going on since March of 2020, and
I know it's been almost 2 years of masks.
Like, oh my god.
What's weird is like the mask thing. The mask thing came out of like nowhere. Yeah. I was like, how did you make these?
Yeah.
Like. Anyway, yeah, attendance. I really hope things start getting better either towards the end of this season or by next season.
Right.
Whether that's through vaccines, which I mean, I have no problem with vaccines. I'm just waiting for like an actual like consensus on one. That's my big thing is I want a consensus on one that doesn't freak people out.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
We want to talk about something fun now.
Sure.
Seattle.
I like fun conversations.
You like fun?
I do.
Fun conversations like waffles being sandwiches and is butt legs.
Look, let me tell you, if you don't think a waffle's a sandwich, I can't help you.
What about your crab legs butt theory?
I don't know. I stand by it.
You stand by it?
I stand by it 100%. I see no reason to back down.
That was like the best conversation I think we ever had to end a show. It was so good. Vegas. Kraken first. Then we'll get to Vegas. And we're going to try to breeze through the rest of this because we're kind of running long. Kraken retire number 32 for the franchise number and for the like amount of fans like that bought season ticket holding shares. 32,000 fans.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And I think it's a great, like, they retired a number already and it's for symbolic purposes. It's fun.
A lot of people were making fun of him for it. I think it's cool. Like,
I think it's really cool. Vegas did the same thing, like for the big shooting. Like they retired number 58 for the shooting in 2017.
Yeah.
The Wild have number 1 for the fans.
Right.
Like teams do this a lot. And it's cool. Let organizations have fun with this. Like, can we not? Sports are fun.
Everything's supposed to be fun. People try to like take the fun out of the things. Like brand new team, trying to excite the fan base.
Yeah.
Retire the number for the fans. I mean, the Seahawks did the same thing. Like they
12th
retired
man, yeah.
number 12 for a 12th man. So Seattle obviously does a lot of things, like in terms of city, like when it comes to sports with the fans. Seattle's got great fans.
They're playing Montreal tonight.
Yeah.
As of recording this, and
I hope they kick Montreal's ass.
They were talking about like it being a rematch of 102 years ago with the Metropolitans in the Stanley Cup. Like whoever wins it gets to raise a 1919 Stanley Cup banner.
We got to avenge that loss.
Whoever wins it gets to raise a 1919 Cup banner.
Oh, 1919. What a year for sports.
Yeah.
Anything else significant happened that year in sports?
That still blows my mind reading about that story to this day. Especially because it happened to my fucking team. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. I had to write a whole paper on it in like my junior year of high school. It was one of my favorite papers I've ever written.
The Black Sox paper?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a cool story. It's a very unique story.
It's a wild story.
Yeah.
Vegas, they're bad. And why?
I love that. Vegas, bad. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on?
Here's the thing, man.
Pete DeBoer is a decent coach. Like, he's not bad.
It's a rough start. Like, it happens. I'm not too worried about Vegas, to be completely honest with you.
No, I'm not worried about him either. But it's like, it's weird because this is the first time they've ever been in a slump like this to start a year.
Mm-hmm.
And
in fairness, they've only been in the league for a couple years. So, like,
boo-hoo.
A couple, but like, boo-hoo. You know what, man? Let me tell you. First year I ever truly 110% the entire season followed the Columbus Blue Jackets. They started like 0-7-1, and it was very painful, and I hated my life. Right. And I instantly regretted my decision to be a fan, but I couldn't pull out of it because I cared. So,
and now you're here doing this with me.
Yeah. That's God, 10 years. That's a fate even worse than 0-7-1. Anyway. You know what? I think they'll be fine. They can start 1-4. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be just fine. Pretty much. But it is tough though, because like they are getting guys back, but like they're missing Pacioretty, they're missing Mark Stone. They missed Patrick Brown for a while. They missed Peyton Krebs for a little bit. They had so many guys. I love
that. They're missing great players like
Pacioretty
and Patrick Brown. And you're just lumping them in with those guys.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what you do.
The man. It's like next game, we're just like, God, the Penguins, man, they're still missing Rust and Carter and Crosby and Malkin and Letang, and they're missing Drew O'Connor.
Drew O'Connor, yeah. Drew O'Connor's looked good though.
Yes. Well, everybody looked good against the Leafs. So.
Oh my God, I still feel bad for Chris and Emily with that. Oh. It's rough. It was. You
had to turn first line center Evan Rodriguez and second line franchise center Danton Heinen.
Danton played center. Ooh, that's interesting.
He can play center or wing. I think he's more of a winger at this point. But really, we all know who my favorite center on that team is.
Is it Mark Donk?
No.
Is it Buzz Flibbit?
No, it's no, it's a real player. You know who my favorite Penguin is.
Wait a minute. Oh yeah.
Who is it?
Teddy Bluger from Riga,
Latvia, baby.
We love Teddy.
Oh yeah, dude, he's awesome. I'd love to have him. Like, I'd love to have him on the Jackets.
We love Teddy.
Like, obviously, if I could choose any player from the Penguins, he's not gonna be the one I choose. I would choose Crosby, like a normal person would. But like, I would love Teddy Bluger.
I would like Gino.
He's an awesome player. Yeah, Gino would be okay. Maybe Jake Gensel.
Maybe Jake. Yeah, get another Jake in there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Vegas, they'll bounce back. I'm not worried. The Sharks made a little deal. Traded Dylan Gambrell, which surprised me, honestly, because I mean, I know Gambrell's like a bottom six kid, but I liked him. He was a good Shark. But they essentially got their seventh back.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. The nerd's coming out again.
Oh God, here comes the geek.
His analytics are terrible. They're absolutely brutal. I gotta pull them up for you. They're like hilariously bad. I was surprised at just how bad they were.
Well, let's hurry this up because we got like a couple COVID things again, and then a couple more rap things.
Okay, his projected WAR percentage was 9%.
Wow.
Strength offense was 5%. Strength defense 43%. Okay, not terrible.
Not bad.
Power play not applicable. PK 32%. Finishing 30%. Goals per 60 22%. Primary assists per 60 19%. Penalty 28%.
Are you just reading JFresh cards again?
Yeah, I'm just reading it out. The quality of competition 24%. Quality of teammates 25%. Yeah. Not very good. He posted it as Dylan Gambrell signed 1 year, $1 million with San Jose as a defensive center who played second line minutes this year with healthy scratch results.
He did play second line minutes, and that's not his role though.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like he got put in a tough position. It's my favorite thing. Like reading some of Jay Fresh's cards because like the comments that he puts along with it are
the
always so snarky.
Really
They're
stupid
so funny. Yeah. Second line minutes, healthy scratch results.
Silly. Speaking of the Penguins, Kris Letang has COVID.
Hope he's okay.
I mean, it was like with the Blackhawks, they added Taser and a couple of coaches and Borgstrom. Like they added 5 more people to their COVID list. Like, ugh.
Screw them. I'm mad at them. Everybody should be mad at them.
I mean, yes, but
I hope those players are okay.
Yes.
I not mad at the players, mad at the organization.
No, yeah. I want JT to get better.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, all the best to Kris in recovery. Mackenzie Blackwood, vaxxed.
Kind of. Got the first dose.
Oh, he got his first dose? Okay. Is he getting a second? Okay.
Yeah, he will get the second dose. And then for the next 2 weeks after he gets the second dose, he will still be under like the same rules that he was before. They're still treating him as an unvaccinated player until it like fully kicks in. So I got the Pfizer.
Oh, he got Pfizer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And good for him. I mean, like, he took his time. He wanted to look things over before determining to get it. And
right. It's not like he was anti like Josh Archibald.
Right. No, he just took his time. He wanted to make sure.
Or Tony
with over his options. Hey, Tony got it.
But he was, I mean, it always comes back to Tony D'Angelo.
No, it always goes back to the Arizona Coyotes.
Or Jim Benning.
Oh, Jim Benning.
Oh, Jimmy. So yeah, Blackwood, he's getting there. And so is Miles Wood. He's getting healthier.
Yeah. And they also have Scott Wedgwood.
Yes, they do. They got a ton of lumber on that Devils team.
Yeah, they got wood.
See, now it's your turn to make the wood joke. Because I made the wood joke in the preview episode. We're just trading the same stupid shit.
We are. Yeah.
Quick little thing. Did you know that I'm doing like a chart for Kepi Keepers just to keep track, just for the hell of it?
Oh no, share it with me.
I mean, it's in my notes. I'll have to like screenshot things, but I don't know. Maybe I can share it in a message. Maybe.
Let's make a Google Doc.
I could. Yeah, I would just make a sheet. Yeah. Auston Matthews scored his 200th goal.
Yeah, and it was his first goal of the season. It looked
First
pretty
goal of the
good.
season.
And the Leafs lost.
The only goal that was scored by Toronto.
And who did he score it on?
His old best friend, Freddie Andersen.
Freddie Andersen had the last laugh.
It was a beautiful wraparound, though. It was like, wow.
I think in that game, Freddie Andersen gave up the early goal to Auston Matthews. He turned around. He looked to the heavens. He was like, I need some help this game. And there a light shone. And in the crowd, David Ayers transferred his powers to him for the rest of the game.
He just looked over at the siren and saw David cranking
He's just like, you got this, Freddie.
He looks good in that home jersey, though, the red jersey. Oh.
Yeah, I know it's a shame we had to see him in the white jersey in Toronto, but he looks good in the red jersey too.
Yeah.
He is in his career 2-0 now against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Once as a goalie in net, and two as the special guest of the game,
the brand ambassador.
Yeah, the brand ambassador. Yeah. What a guy, man. The hockey community is a lot better with David Ayers in it. I'll tell you that.
Wouldn't you love to Actually, that's an idea. I should try to DM his wife and try to get him on the show.
Be pretty dope.
That would be really cool.
I'm sure he's been reached out to by a lot of people.
Oh, I'm sure. And he's just like, let me live.
Yeah. Let me live my life. I'm gonna go back to being the Zamboni driver.
Yeah, let me just go to the Marlies game and fix up. Yeah. So you know how there's this Upper Deck partnership that they have now for trading cards?
Oh yeah.
This is the last thing.
I haven't gotten Upper Deck cards in forever.
I haven't gotten trading cards in forever.
Yeah. So what's up with them?
Basically, they've got a new deal that got extended. Let me see how long this is for. Long-term extension expected to come in this winter. Doesn't give a timetable to when the deal ends. Really. So Fanatics is essentially, it looks like Fanatics is out, just completely out, card wise. But the Upper Deck deal includes obviously trading cards, because that's what they do, and the weirdest thing known to man in the 21st century, NFTs.
NFTs.
God, why?
What?
I'm
not gonna lie. You cut out for a second. So
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the deal, the Fanatics, they're done.
Okay.
They're done with Fanatics. It's all
Right.
Upper Deck now. They got trading cards. It doesn't give a date to when, how long the deal is extended until or whatever. But it's got trading cards and it's got NFTs.
Okay.
NFTs are so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
What the fuck is it even? Is it just a file on your computer?
I have no idea.
What even is? Somebody please explain to me what an NFT actually is. It's a thing for our generation,
NFT.
But at the same time, what the hell is it? I have zero idea what a non-fungible token is.
Yeah. Unique and non-interchangeable unit of data stored on a digital ledger. I have no idea.
You're literally just
trading. Is that the equivalent of the things that we use in the Discord, the logos and stuff like that? That you need Nitro for?
Oh, getting emotes and stuff?
Yeah, is it kind of what that is?
I don't know. To me, it feels like you're just sharing a Word file or some shit. like a PNG
Jeez.
file that's sold for like thousands of dollars. Like, why? Or an MP4 or whatever it is. Good for them. Sure.
We have something new from the Blackhawks that I'd like to read.
Okay. Well,
So
I guess we'll try to end with this.
Yeah, so this will be the
long.
last thing, because I do think this is important to say.
Yes.
So this is from Ben Pope. Here's the first public statement from John Doe, the Blackhawks player who...
The player, yes.
The player, yeah. So he responds to today's news. Today, I am grateful for the accountability from Rocky, Danny Wirtz, and the Blackhawks organization. I also want to thank Jenner and Block, and specifically Reed Shar, for the respect he and they showed me throughout their investigation. Although nothing can truly changed the detriment to my life over the past decade because of the actions of one man inside the Blackhawks organization. I'm very grateful to see the truth be recognized, and I look forward to continuing the long journey to recovery. I'd like to thank Susan Loggins for her support and belief in me throughout this process. I also would not be here today without the love and support of my family and friends. I know I'm not the only victim in this world of sexual abuse, and I hope my story can inspire change within the NHL and around the world.
Yes. Well, it's absolutely spurned an immediate change within the organization.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that the fallout from this is massive.
Yep.
And that, this better bring a huge culture change.
Yep.
For everything.
And not just with the Chicago Blackhawks.
With the NHL and with sports, with life.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, this should just bring change.
Yes. No doubt about it.
And it all starts with firing Jeremy Cald.
Yeah, that organization's got bigger fish to fry.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Although I will say, as far as the hockey is concerned, I wouldn't be surprised now that Bowman's gone. If that's like one of the next moves, they bring in someone else to be a GM.
They've got an interim right now.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that's going to happen soon.
Yeah,
but I hope that when it does happen, when Colleton does get fired, that people don't let that distract them from what's really going on.
Right.
Because as of right now, for the rest of the season, in my opinion, everything when it comes to the Chicago Blackhawks, the hockey is secondary.
Yes, absolutely. It's everybody's going to look at them through a different lens, and it's going to be just crazy. It's nuts. It's crazy, just like we are. I don't know how to say this other than just say, hey, we don't have another show until Saturday. There's not a game until Friday. Follow our stuff.
Follow our stuff. We'll have more stuff for you regarding the Blackhawks on Saturday. We'll have a longer dialogue, more information to give you, recap it all. Yeah, so enjoy hockey. Enjoy life.
JJ Jackets on Twitter, Snake Geringer, by Jay Ashdown. Follow us everywhere. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Ashdown J on Instagram. Like the recent pick.
Yeah. You always got to plug the picks, don't you?
Because I like rating them.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, Twitter, follow the YouTube, follow the Spotify. I got to get off my lazy ass and try to put us on other platforms like sometime later this week, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now we're just on YouTube and Spotify. I'm going to try to get us on other stuff soon. But follow us there for now. We'll see you Saturday, Fifth Liners.
Jake Jackets, a podcast for fifth liners and all puckheads around. Follow the guys on Twitter at Snake Geringer, GARRINGER, and at by Jay Ashdown. And subscribe on YouTube or wherever you listen. March on.